Now, this is going to be an honest review. I didn't get this one for free. I paid $769, so full price. Just the early bird sale for this particular device. So let's just unbox it real quick. I want to see how it feels to use as a daily device rather than just gaming. Alright, got your, I'm assuming, SIM card and most likely product. Wow, already, that's crazy. Yeah, exactly, SIM ejector tool. You got a case in there, and then some booklets, of course, quick start guide, all of that. I will use this just to swap out the SIM card from my Nothing phone, which is what I'm currently using. A cool tab at the bottom, so that's right here. Good to have this on hand. Very beautiful charger overall. I'll put that back there. Let's set that aside. And here we got the phone. So it is a very beautiful device in general. I'm just going to quickly open it up. And here we have the device. To be honest, this is way prettier in person. It looks good in the pictures and the videos, but it doesn't do it justice. I mean, this is very mirror-like, very nice. You guys can see the Nothing phone reflecting off of it, real nice. You got your 250 megapixel cameras here, and then you have a macro cam that I believe is 2 megapixels or something like that. Overall, though, very beautiful. Doesn't protrude at all. You got RGB here on the fan, and of course on the Red Magic logo. Of course, you have your fans here and here. This is your power button, volume buttons, pressure sensitive triggers right here. And then you have your gaming switch, which can also be configured, which was a big thing for me. I didn't know if you could configure it. Yeah, I wanted to change this to like camera or something like that. Starts up pretty quick. Alright guys, and I've got my SIM card here. I'm on AT&T, so I'm very interested to see if this works perfect. Heard of some people having issues, so that's why I was very interested to see. So I've plugged in the SIM card. Let's see what we got. See if everything works. Yeah, no, I'm getting it perfectly fine. Yeah, overall sign-in process has been clean. Device looks really great. I'm gonna set everything up and then get back to you guys. Alright, I did set up my phone. I do really like this device overall. I currently have 3% left, and I've gone ahead and done a couple things here. I've changed my widgets out a little bit. I've also changed the theme. You're more than welcome to do any of those things. I'm at 3% right now, as I mentioned. I've used the phone all day for the last 15 hours just to give you an idea of the battery life. One thing I'll do immediately when you get the phone, if you want it to look clean like this, like clean Android, that's always an option for you. If you go into personalization, this was one of the things I wanted to mention because it was one of the questions I did have, and I'm one of the few that actually purchased the phone myself. I'm not getting paid by Red Magic to make the review. I'll go ahead and include a pop-up image of my order and that purchase. I paid $769 for this phone during their early bird offer. And yeah, one of the things you can immediately do, if you tap here, the phone comes stock with Phantom, I believe, but you're more than welcome to change it. So the phone used to come with either Lightspeed Mecha or Hyperfuturism. Not my cup of tea. I don't like the gamer aesthetic, so I'm glad they changed that. My phone actually came with Phantom. I'm not sure if it was because of the Moonlight spec that I got. I'm assuming maybe that was the case. If you literally scroll down, you're more than welcome to use either the very flat glassy rhythm, which is quite clean. As you guys can see, it looks really nice. And it does come with some pretty cute sounds to match the vibe. But me personally, I like stock Android, so I picked Android. And it's great that you have that option. You have multiple themes. I wish they had like a little theme store or something like Samsung's do. But you're more than welcome to change everything out. You can change the colors and shapes of everything, even like the little teardrop shapes that the old phones used to have on with OnePlus and such. And you can even change the icon shapes as well through here. So just to at least let you guys know. And if you wanted to, you can also change the mono icons so everything kind of matches with your wallpaper. So you're more than welcome to choose that. Me personally though, I'm a huge fan of just the standard app icons that we're used to. I don't know why the OS itself gets so much hate, but I will say the software support is lacking. You only get one major Android update, which would put this at Android 16, for instance, with this phone, since it ships with Android 15, and you get 2 years of software updates in terms of security updates for Android. So those are the places where it lacks really badly. Another area where it lacks is the phone app, because it does real-time texting as of right now, which would be heading into the middle of January. I'm hoping they do an update for it, but apparently so far they have not. So it's been a bit weak in that regard. And I'm at 2%, guys. Again, I've used this phone for 15 hours straight, and I'm a heavy user. I did about 2 hours of video calling, as well as about 30 minutes of gaming, and then the rest was on social media and video streaming. So it's definitely a long-lasting phone. It's a great phone at that. I went ahead and changed this. This is today weather. This is their widget. So this is a great option for you guys that like more minimal weather aesthetics. It's very clean to me. If you guys like your simple and clean weather apps, then this is perfect for you guys. You also do get that OG Google Now widget if you guys like that aesthetic, which me personally, I love that aesthetic. So you can see right here I have the calendar, and then right here I have my weather. So really excellent overall. One thing I will mention for you guys, apart from themes and personalization, you can also change your lock screen. You have a bunch of different options there, even some analog clocks at the end. So you have quite a few different options to pick from. It's 3 o'clock now, so my blue light filter did just kick in, so that's why I just tinted a little bit. But you can also change the light strip to do a few different things. So for instance, I have it set to turn red when I'm gaming, or if I'm on a call, it'll just stay blue. Or if I have an incoming call, I have it flash, which I think I might change to flashing blue. Then I also have it set to breathe yellow whenever I do get a notification. So you have a couple of different options there, and you can even turn it on. So power saving mode does not allow it to turn on, so that's always an option. On top of that, you can turn on the always on display. You have many ones to choose from. As you guys can see, you have all these different animated ones as well, if you like stuff like this. So you have a bunch of different options. Me personally, I like a clean look. You can even change it to be a little moon. And even this one is pretty clean as well. So you have a lot of different options there. Me personally, I just like this very clean design because it does match with the standard screen as well, as you guys can see. So very clean overall. You have your wallet support right there, where you would just need to enter your PIN to enter the wallet app. A big thing that I do recommend for you guys is definitely change the fingerprint if you prefer a different design. I changed it to the first one just because I prefer this very clean look, as you guys can see. Opens up nice and easy. The front-facing camera is pretty good when you consider, especially in good lighting. If you guys can take pictures out in exceptional lighting or out in the sun, it's almost as good as a camera from like maybe 2013, 2014 in terms of front-facing cameras. It's actually quite good if you're in direct sunlight. So I would definitely recommend taking your selfies out in direct sunlight. And the rear camera, while nothing to write home about, I have set the competitive switch right here to open the camera. It's solid enough. It'll get whatever you need. You need to take a quick picture. It gives you more than enough detail, as you guys can see. The logo is nice and crystal clear. But other than that, what I would recommend, you're going to have a lot of bloatware, and so I would go ahead, you can disable all of it, so just delete the folders that they give you at the start, as well as all the other apps that it comes with. You're more than welcome to do that. And then one thing I would do, change the top panel style, which is in the notification and status bar, which is down here. Change that to swipe down from upper left or upper right. For some reason, I used to use this, of course. That gives you that standard design where you have your widgets and then your notifications here. But you need to actually do this, where it'll pull down the control panel here. And then you have the option of having your notifications here. The reason you have to do this is because you won't be able to do quick replies to notifications if you use this particular mode. It just won't do anything when you try to slide down to get more detailed options. But for some reason, this particular option allows you to do quick replies with like notifications from WhatsApp or TikTok or Instagram or whatnot. Or if you want more detailed notifications and then you hit reply, you want to have this option enabled. And on top of that, turn off status bar icons, guys. Otherwise, you're going to end up with basically something like this, where it's just super cluttered. So I would recommend just keeping Wi-Fi on, maybe VPN if you guys use VPN, just to keep that on. I just like to keep it clean with just mobile data and then Wi-Fi, just to know what I've got going on. But overall, I mean, the phone design is very beautiful. I got the Moonlight colorway because I did not like the way the standard $650 model looked, so I went ahead and got this one. Of course, you have your fan right here, which you can turn on. I will do that for you guys right here. And then I changed it to turn on green, but you can have it flash or strobe or whatever you want. I have it just be a solid green because I don't use it at all unless I'm gaming, which to me, I don't really do that much. The reason I bought this one, if you're probably wondering why I would buy a gaming phone like this if I don't game a ton on my phone. I'm more of a PC gamer. I'll play a couple games here and there, and you can utilize the triggers in game space, which I'll touch on maybe a little bit. But I really just wanted the massive battery with the 7,050 milliamp hour battery. Like I said, guys, it's 15 hours of usage. I'm still at 2%, and you can see it hasn't moved at all. And then on top of that, you have a 100 watt fast charge. I've charged this. My record breaking time so far has been about 28 minutes, and I was able to charge this phone up to full with a 140 watt fast charging brick. So it is very nice. You guys can see you got your battery details here, and you can get a full breakdown and all that. It's going to say I've only done 9 hours. For some reason, it decreases over time. I think it calculates last 24 hours or something like that. But I unplugged this phone at 10 in the morning today. and I've been using it since. And yeah, I mean, it's a really cool phone. Another thing I would recommend, go into the display, go into the color mode and change it how you want. This is the eye comfort mode I was just mentioning. That's the blue light mode, so you can see the little tint it did. And then one thing I recommend doing, guys, go to screen refresh rate. You're going to be annoyed by this little thing up here. It'll say 144 hertz at all times. Just turn that off so that way you don't have to see that ugly little logo. So a couple of little gamer things here and there that you got to tweak, but overall, once you change them out, I would turn on enhanced display mode just to give you better colors and enhance the brightness a little bit, and then just change the font a little bit. I changed it to small and default, and that allows it to be clean rather than a little bit. This is a little bit too big for me, so I prefer it to be minimalist looking. So I wanted my gaming phone to look a little bit minimal. With that transparent design, I really wanted to have a minimal colorway. So you have your app drawer here, very clean phone overall. You have your Google app, of course. I have this set to open up the clock. So it is very good overall, excellent phone. Got all my streaming apps here, so it is a great phone. I mean, you can't go wrong with this one. When you have power saving mode, this is normally blurred, but I just wanted to just showcase how long the battery did last. Again, I've used it for 15 hours straight, still at 1%. Very, very clean. I've been recording for 12 minutes. I've only lost 1% of battery. And yeah, guys, it's an excellent phone overall. One last thing, definitely go down to features and just look through everything yourself, guys. There's a lot of little cool features you can have, like gestures, such as swipe down to screenshot, or double tap to turn off the phone or turn on the phone. And the last thing I will say is most definitely go to competitive key settings, and if you guys are more of a daily user like me, you can change the competitive switch to open up the camera like so. So you can see that opens it up, and then you just swipe it down when you want to open up, or you can turn it to open the flashlight, or even switch it to vibrate or silent. So you have a couple different options there. So I personally don't use GameSpace that much, and if I did want to use it, I'll just go down to here. And then you do have your DTS sound system, of course, here. And I just customized it to these exact settings, and it sounds really good like that. So that's what I've been rocking, guys. And overall, I would give this phone a 9 out of 10. It would be a 10 out of 10 if it simply had better cameras and better software support, as well as real-time text improved a little bit more. But overall, it is a great phone overall, and definitely worth the $760 price tag. Gamer performance is perfect. I mean, I get 60 FPS on every game that supports it, and 90 to 120 FPS if the game supports that instead. And you can also force some games in GameSpace to turn on to that mode as well. Me personally, I don't game that much, so I wanted to go more into a daily use case scenario, just kind of show you guys a little bit of the features that you can change, just show you guys that it doesn't have to be a gaming phone. I do understand it is a primarily gaming focused device with the triggers, the RGB, but I mean, you look at this at first glance, it's just such a clean device. People are going to ask, like, what did you do to your Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra or something like that? Amazing display, as you guys can see. There's no notch or camera cutout or anything like that. It's all screen, looks really good. Beautiful display overall. You can't go wrong with this phone, guys. Definitely give it a try if you can. And yeah, they didn't pay me to make this review. I bought the phone with my own money, and I'm really glad I went with this silver colorway. I wasn't sure if I should have went with a different color, but you guys can see just how beautiful this mirror-like finish is. So I'm very, very pleased with this phone. You can get solid shots out of it if you turn down the brightness a little bit when you're taking pictures. And if you turn on full-size mode in the camera, which you guys will see right here, there's full size. That's not normally there. You would have to go to camera family and then hit this little button up top and then just drag it down to here where full size is. That's where it typically resides, and that allows you to rock the full size mode, guys. That'll force the camera to run at 50 megapixels when you take shots, so that way you get really crisp quality, guys. So yeah, it's a really great phone overall. So I would definitely recommend it if you're a very heavy Android user, or if you're a very heavy gamer in general. It's great. I mean, you got the triggers, they work flawlessly. I've used them in like at least 5-6 games now, never had a single problem. I even used it on PlayStation Remote Play. As long as you add that app to GameSpace, it runs flawlessly, guys. So definitely give it a try, and it's a great phone overall. Literally takes like 28 to 30 minutes just to charge up the phone from zero. So it's an excellent phone, but before you know it, you're already at 30 to 40% within 6 minutes, which is insane, to say the least. So excellent phone overall, guys. Looks incredible. If you like the transparent design, or just a lack of a camera cutout, definitely go for this one, guys. Alright guys, going into GameSpace, you have a lot of different features. Like, you can set up remote play, you can set up any app you want. Going down to add games, which is this little plus sign right here, you can add whatever games you want, and it'll just show you all the apps you have on your phone. So you can essentially customize it, so it's not just certain apps that'll allow you to use like the triggers and filters and scope features and stuff like that. You have a lot of features as well. And you also have your settings by tapping there, where you can change performance. If you wanted to change it to rise, or if you want to keep it on balanced or eco mode. And you can even go on the high quality for like the Snapdragon Adreno GPU, and you can even make it custom. So you have a lot of different options based off of what you want personally. Alright. So now I can see. So now you just turn that on. You would move this over here and move this, I believe, over here to use the single tap features. And then we just hit X. And now you can see there, yep. So now we're just going to tap hold to drift. So we can go ahead and do that. Now you guys can see. So you can see how smooth everything works. Now I can use one side to drift and then the other side for everything else. I do have the left trigger set up for jumping. And you can always change that on the fly, as I mentioned. So whatever you would like it to be, you can always set it. So it's whatever you'd like. So I could set it to sneak if I wanted to instead, since the game I know does have automatic jumping, for instance. So it's very cool overall. So you have a lot of different options there. You can see all the settings we have here. At the very bottom, you do have Diablo mode, which would basically overclock the system to give you the maximum power. This one allows you to basically turn on scope, which you'd be able to see enemies up in the distance, which is perfect. As you guys can see, if I wanted to see this like magnified, you can see how far it is normally, and it's magnified there. On top of that, you could also change the filter, so that way you can have different, essentially color codes, just to be able to see enemies a little bit better. Like ultra clear for the most sharpness, or eagle eye to be able to see the enemies the most. This kind of highlights everything, which is very interesting if I'm looking at it actually, because it highlights all the important information essentially. So I'm assuming enemies and mobs and stuff like that, anything that's moving around would probably be amplified. You guys can see like the mushroom, for instance, does have like a little neon glow over it just to make it easier to see. If you're playing games like Warzone Mobile, it'll be super easy to see your enemies. So you have a lot of different features there. And then when you want to turn it off, you can simply just tap on it and it's gone. And then you can also change it to this, so that way you can see a little bit better. You have AI trigger, for instance, which essentially will look for specific combinations that do pop up. It works really well in games like MOBAs, where you need your ultimate ability on the fly and stuff like that whenever it's available. So it works really well in that regard. And then of course we have the RGB on in the background, and you can see the triggers. We have the left trigger and the right trigger. Very cool overall. So honestly, it's very nice. The gaming experience is great. You won't have any issues when it comes to playing games at all. It runs everything perfectly. As you guys can see though, we do have stuff like Steam Link and PS Remote Play. So if you ever want to play any of your other games, you're more than welcome. You want to cloud stream it. It runs perfectly flawless, especially with the trigger features as well. So really great system overall. This phone is excellent. It looks great. Beautiful device. They just released a white color as well, but I think this color with that translucent silver takes the cake as the most beautiful color overall, which is why I bought this. I was looking at Dragon Age Veilguard. You can kind of see a little bit of my PC here. And then if you zoom in, you can see it's decent enough. I mean, it's going to do exactly what it needs to do, right? This one was with the ultra wide camera, so going to be a little bit worse overall, as you guys can see. Yeah guys, you hear some Wuthering Waves that I was playing with the GameSir G8. We're literally running flawlessly, maxed out, as you guys can see. Looks gorgeous, runs great. I mean, you don't have anything to worry about gaming wise. Excellent phone in general, really beautiful device. I mean, it's gorgeous guys, it's absolutely stunning. Can't go wrong with this one. Very clean. If you just turn on Android mode, download a native phone app or a minimal phone app, you're more than welcome to, and then you won't have to deal with RTT. And yeah, I mean, it's super clean. I'll show you guys how fast Face Unlock is. And here's the fingerprint unlock. Also pretty fast. You can also unlock it from the always on display, of course. But it works flawlessly every time. I have never had an issue with it not registering my face, or the fingerprint sensor not working. Overall, it's a great phone. I would love to get some review samples Red Magic in the future. Please send me your Red Magic 10s and your 11. I'll review them all, but make sure you're sending me those transparent colorways, because that's what I'm paying money for. Very good phone overall. Definitely recommend it. This is going to be a long video, but definitely wanted to show you guys just a little bit of the features that you do get, and more of a daily use take. I'm a heavy phone user. I don't really game on my phone that much, but I wanted a gaming phone like this just because it is cutting edge technology, and you get the Snapdragon 8 Elite for a bargain, to be honest, with the inclusion of the camera module, which you cannot really see at all. I know you guys can't see that because I can't even see it. You can only see it at some angles, and that's because my brightness is pretty low. Turn up that brightness, you're never going to see it. The only time you'll ever really see it is if the brightness is really low, but you guys can see right here. Can't see it at all. Absolutely stunning. The display tech is on another level. Display is more than enough for me. Beautiful AMOLED panel. High brightness, I believe it's 2000 nits. The 144 hertz display, super crispy. Amazing. Can't go wrong with this phone, Red Magic 10 Pro. Absolutely stunning.